Alright, I'm going to be giving a quick rundown of Signal RGB, the program that controls my lighting here for my keyboard and the computer, but a couple of them aren't working right now. You can see at the top there. Not, we'll get to that. Actually, I probably won't mess with it, but my point will still get across just fine. Yeah, very. Okay, so this is the program here. Um, This is what you'll see when you first start it up after you create your account and do whatever. Uh, it'll show you a couple featured ones. Pumped Up Beats is actually what I've been using the most lately for syncing audio. You can go and see all the ones I have installed here. We can install on the list. I kind of just keep it at spiral rainbow right now, just because it's basic. There's no audio playing. Rainbow Pulse is cool too. Here's the preview of the top list. Spot. So how it works is you will first have to come down here to my rig. Well, probably first you'll go to your settings and go to audio and make sure you have the correct whatever your music that you want to sync to is coming from. Have it, chosen here. You can play around with video settings if it's affecting performance and all that kind of stuff as well. Let's see. Okay. So, after you have that done, you will go to devices, and down here at the bottom are all your different devices. Now, the reason it looks like many less devices than what I actually have is because it is one on the end here is actually a controller. It controls multiple different ones. You can see that right to settings. Oh, settings. There we go. So share symbol. Like, I don't know why that's the symbol they chose, but yeah, you can set your own up. For example, I have them all set to the same. It's not exactly what it says there. For example, the right. Well, let's do one that's actually working. There's a couple of these ones that aren't like that. We'll go with the intake. This is the main case lighting settings. You will always have streaming enabled and your brightness all the way up. I mean, unless you want it. Yeah, no. You change the name by clicking this little thing up here so you know exactly which one it is. Giving me the option to change. Yeah, you're gonna want canvas. Oh, you just click it. You don't have to click the little settings. So when you click it, say you want to add a fan. Just do a fan, or actually probably not. Go to type. AIO will be the water cooler block. Like, there you go. You see the little block in the middle there that says next to the RAM, the little square one. That's an AIO. So all stands for all in one cooler. Basically, your CPU more or less. Let's fast camera. So it's if you CPU cooler chair. I know they did chairs. Fans are mostly what it's going to be, or custom. So say I need a fan, you can just scroll through and look for which type of fan you have, and if likely, like it won't be on here the exact one. So the safest bet is just to choose the one that has the most LEDs. If you want to get real intricate, and by LEDs you just see here in the little bottom right of the list how many it has. If you want to get real intricate, you can choose different ones, and it may change it a little bit. Obviously, if you choose something with like 4 LEDs, it's only going to turn on 4 of the lights in said fan, because each fan itself has a ton of lights in it. Like, for example, the ones in the case right there. I think I counted and are either 18 or 20, but I just keep them at the ones that say 20, so it's easiest. Yeah, that works pretty easy. If you want to make a custom strip, for example, you have like strip lighting that you want to be able to control each little tiny light in order, you click custom strip. A lot of this you don't need to just, if you have a controller, pick your fan, or just set up each channel here that you have plugged into the controller with a fan that has a low lights on it, or whatever other device. You can also do it by brand and name type and LED count. So that's probably the most complex part of the whole shebang. Otherwise, it's pretty simple. For example, my keyboard here, you haven't done anything to it. I just leave these colors right here, what they are. That matters to me. None of this matters. And this is how you toggle it on and off. For example, you want to not control the lighting on your keyboard or not have it on, you just turn it off and it will go to letting me control it from the keyboard itself. So you can turn it on to match together. Yeah, so here's how you turn on and off the devices. After you have all your devices added down here, you will go, well, I guess first pick a pattern that you like out of installed, or well, I guess when you're new and you don't have any of them installed, go to new and update it, and you can search top left here, just scroll through. But I think a good way to set it up is to click spiral rainbow like I have here. Come down to my effects, customize. What you're going to do is just turn your screen all the way down. So this way, think of it like this. This effect here is a field where we're going to put in our individual devices. But as it's a solid color right now, it will give you a better idea of where each device stands. For example, you can see on my keyboard here that it is, we got purple over here and blue here. So you can tell that it's probably, going to be a rectangle about right here. Pulling out for the purple and blue device. Alright, so once we have this spiral stopped, down to my rig and layout, here is where the magic really happens. Top left here are all your layout options. You can save patterns of the way things are set up. We don't have way too many. Save, delete, or reload, like glitches out or whatever. So yeah, like I said, this box here, you can select on over here if you want. But this box here, the big rectangle, is my keyboard. So you can tell that the lighting on the keyboard is going to match whatever's in the box of the keyboard. And that will go the same for my RAM sticks over here. My mouse is up here. These two fans are the ones that aren't working right now. They're the AIO fans. This is the rear exhaust, aka the one sticking out the very, oh, okay. That one sticking out the back there. See, green. Kind of sucks. Green makes green. Yeah, green. It's down here. This is the AIO that I talked about, the little box in the center. This one is another one that's not my lighting controller. So, set everything where I want it. You can come down here to move it by number or change the size of it to whatever you want. If you want it to only be that section, make it huge, whatever. Now you can make it so like when it goes yellow, that means it's extending off screen and likely won't work, and that is the case. So I try to keep everything on screen, but play around with it, find out whatever you want. You can also rotate it too. Easy enough. You can hit this little button here to put it directly in the center, and this will flip it. If that makes sense. I click that little flip button, it's going to change which side. Essentially, if it's mirrored. Yep. Ta-da. All right, now the fun part. If you want to sync it to music, there are lots that sync to music. You don't have to choose this one. If you want something easy out of the box, there's one called Rave. It's pretty good. Rave Visualizer. You can do that one, and you can still change the settings on it. But I have been having fun with the new one they put on, Pumped Up Beats. So what we're gonna do here, what it does not look like actually, layout helper here is very bottom of all the options here. There's a ton of options. This is if you don't want music playing, for example, I'm talking right now, it will simulate music playing or audio. So this would be going with the audio, more or less. Key press to pause it. For example, I'm gonna go ahead and play some music so you can see what it actually looks like with music playing. I have a problem though. Bad might sound like this. So you can tell the keyboard matches that, more or less. Alright, I turned the desktop audio down. Matter of fact, I'm going to mute it to myself too. Oh shit, that's not going to work. Okay, how do I do this? Let's close it out, and we'll have the fake music play. Okay, so first options here. Volume boost isn't going to change the actual volume of the music. It changes more or less how the strength of which these effects react to the volume. So say you're playing something quiet, but you don't want it to like just barely light up. Turn your volume boost up. There you go. Background color, just probably leave it at black. You have two static color choices here for effects. Like if you want the flash to be a static color instead of rainbow like this. Color style, you choose your static colors here, the two you chose. Hue will cycle through. Hue wave will cycle in a wave. Hue wave vert changes the direction of the wave to vertical from horizontal, and random beat. Random beats first. I normally go between hue wave vert or random beat because we play the music again, you'll see how it reacts to the beat. just gonna leave that to fairly plan, and hopefully you can hear me much more than the music. What I have? In a QA vert right now. I'll check my report. This is up. Michael looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at Burton. I'll change the background to, you know, kind of change itself, or flash with a random beat, or change color with the beat. And I leave the flash. Oh, why it's on Saturday? It's supposed to be. Huh. I swear I had a profile of this. It was not. What is happening? Okay, anyway. But yeah, I like the static. Fading here changes, you know, how long it lasts. So it kind of fades out instead of cutting off abruptly. I think the cutting off abruptly is actually better in terms of somewhere. Aha! There we go. I did have a little more. Alright, so I'm gonna point this at little computer. I'll just leave it down here. It's not a great angle, I'm sorry, but I don't feel like I'm putting stuff in. Just go. No, you get the idea. These settings you kind of just gotta play around with. They're pretty obvious. Beat detection changes like 64 is what I keep it at. If you have it on 0, it's like it's not really picking up the flash to make it a beat. It just picks up the general music. It's not trying to find the beat. And if you have it at 100, it thinks everything's a beat. So 50 was just a little bit less. You can kind of see it doesn't happen on every snare. I go to 64 because that's just what I found to be the best. So what I've been able to get. Decay speed is kind of like fade, but a little bit different. Scale frequency for volume, pretty obvious. You can change like the size of the stuff here. For example, the spectrum width right there. Yeah, and that's that. You play around with the settings until. Honestly, don't play around with the settings much at first. Kind of just give it something that is reactive enough, and then you will go to layout, and then you can kind of see what's happening. You can see how like my RAMs. That's the sticks here. Ah, damn it. Okay. But yeah, these boxes here, there, will match what's going on right there. You kind of see what my thought process was here with my layout. I moved my camera out of the way, Jesus Christ. Okay. But yeah, I kind of just chose to put each different object in a little different of an effect here, trying to make it look like it's synced, but not every light is the exact same. You understand what I'm saying? So the keyboard kind of is the only one running off of the spectrum right here. That's about it, man. I look around at all the different programs and stuff they have here. There's a million different ways to do stuff. I'll go ahead and let you see the rave one in effect. See. Yeah, man, not that complicated. Um, with layouts, definitely save. That's why I have so many, is because they're all going to look different based on a million different circumstances. Some of my favorite ones are really cool, and you can check them out on YouTube of their actual page. They have video games. You know, why am I pointing the camera at the screen? I'm already recording the screen. But yeah, they've got like Apex, and if you play any games, it's cool because it essentially makes your lighting reflective of what's happening to you in the game, like flash red when you're low health, stuff like that. Those are really sweet. There's a million other different programs here. It's a really good program. I can't recommend it enough because trying to make all of this come together when every single manufacturer that makes a product wants you to use their software, it'll drive you crazy. It's just impossible. So it's really, really helpful that something like this exists. One more thing is that not everything is technically supported. Uh, a ton of stuff is, especially most of the name brand stuff. And if it's not supported, you can do like I did on some of it and find a controller that is supported, plug it up to that controller, and let that controller read it. But it's better to have native support on their list here. Where can we see it? I don't know if it's in the app. So English, that's my support, maybe? Yeah. I don't really need to contact customer support, but it's not support. There we go. Saw it. Supported devices. And you can come to signalrgb.com/devices, look through everything we got here. These are the controllers, fans, and that way you can know exactly what you're going to get and make sure it works. But yeah, that's about it. That's how I sync my lighting. I don't know, honestly, if it seems complicated or easy. It's a little bit of both, depending on what you're trying to do. I know that if you're obsessive and want to be a perfectionist like me, you will spend all night on trying to get each little just right. Don't do that. Find something that works, accept it as it is, because as soon as the song changes, it's gonna be different, So unless you're doing this to like a demo video for somebody or something, just you know, be happy with close to exactly what you were trying to do. I want spiral back, please. Give me a spiral. That's it. Thanks so much.